Hi guys, I think I'm live now. If you can see me, if you can hear me, if everything is good, please do let me know in the chat that everything is working fine. Then we'll start today's session. Today's session is basically strategy for quant. What should you do to improve in quant? How should you target 99 percentile? Those are the kind of things that we'll be discussing today. So please do like the stream. If you have any doubts with respect to your CAT preparation, if you want me to answer anything, please do let me know in the chat. I'll look at all the comments and then I'll try to pick the best ones and answer them. Typically, I think if you are looking to score, okay, let me see. Many people have messaged. Good evening. Good evening, Mithul. Good evening, Nandini. Good evening, Nagaraj. Good evening, Vishal Gaut. Can doing only arithmetic for the next 4 months, is it good? Somebody said unsubscribed. Okay, dude. If you want to unsubscribe, you can unsubscribe. It's a free country. So Vishal is saying, can doing only arithmetic in the next 4 months be good? I would say that is not a very good idea because typically out of 22 questions in quant, I would expect arithmetic to be around say 6 questions. Now, if you are putting all your eggs on the arithmetic basket, and even if you get all of them correct, you will get only 6 questions correct. But most likely you will get 1 or 2 questions wrong, even if you are super well prepared. Your accuracy in any topic is very difficult to be 100%. So I don't think that is a very good idea. What I would tell you to do is focus on the 3 important topics in quant. I think most of you know what are the important topics in quant. So please do message in the chat what you think are the important topics. What are the 3 important topics in quant? If you do those 3 important topics well, out of 22 questions, I expect at least say 14 questions to come from those 3 important topics. Mithuri is asking, doing 5 questions from each topic in quants every day from the study room, is that enough for 99.5 percentile? I think if you're doing 5 questions from each topic in study room, in our study room, I think there are around 15 topics in overall. Maybe around 12 or 13 in quant. So if you're able to solve 12 into 5, around 60 questions every day, I think that is sufficient for you to get 99.5 percentile. And whenever you're getting a question wrong, you have to check where you're going wrong. Sir, at least 10 questions will be doable in real-time exam. See, I don't want you to go with any preconceived notion of what your targeted number of questions will be, because that I think is not the right way to approach the examination. What you should try to do is do the things that are in your control. What are the things in your control? Practicing well is in your control. Watching a lot of concept videos is in your control. Taking a lot of mocks and sectionals, that is in your control. And in every mock and in every sectional, try to attempt as many questions as you can. But you should be mentally prepared to take any surprises. On the day of the examination, suddenly the paper might seem very easy or the paper might seem very difficult. The reason I'm telling you this is because in CAT 2023, for example, many people went with a preconceived notion of a predetermined set of questions that they wanted to attempt. Some people were saying, okay, I want to attempt 10 questions. Some people were saying, I want to attempt 12 questions. Some people said, quant is my strong area, I want to attempt 16 questions. I personally know many people who had these kind of set targets. They went to the examination, and in the examination, the quant section was very difficult. This time the quant section was difficult than any exam in the last 10 years. Any CAT exam in the last 10 years, this was the most difficult quant section. Now, many people, when they are attempting the question paper, they don't really know that. You are not sure whether you are finding it difficult or the paper itself is difficult for everyone. Nobody knows that. So until you come out, you can't really figure out whether you did poorly or the paper itself was very difficult. Then you'll have to basically reassess your targets. For that reason, I don't want you to put any number. Because if you wanted to score 16 questions and the paper is extremely difficult, like this time, and after like say 20 minutes, you are able to attempt only 3 questions. You know that 20 minutes have elapsed, you attempted only 3 questions, you will feel demoralized and then you will come out after attempting 4 questions. But overall, if say you had attempted 6 or 7 questions and the paper was very difficult, it would have been a very good percentile. On the other hand also, if suppose the paper is very easy, it also is possible, and you wanted to attempt 10 questions, but the paper is so easy, everybody is attempting say 13 and 14 questions. Then again, after attempting 10 questions, you are mentally switched off. You feel that I have achieved my target, so I have attempted 10 questions. That also is not a good way of attempting the paper. That's why I tell people to not have any predetermined target. Don't go into the examination hall thinking I want to get X number of questions correct. Go into the hall thinking I've prepared well, I've attempted a lot of questions, I've attempted a lot of mocks, I've solved a lot of papers. I'll give the best that I can and I won't miss out on any easy question. That I think is very, very important in quant. Kishore Kumar M is saying, sir, can I join now in CAT batch? Yeah, you can definitely join in CAT batch. I think there are just around 4.5 months left, maybe 5.5 months left. So this is basically the make or break time. We have a 5-month batch which has started recently, so you can join that. If you want to join to our batch, please do send a mail to support@crack2.in. Mention your academic profile. Mention how much you scored in your 10th, how much you scored in your 12th. If you have any admissions or if you have any calls from any of the IMs or new IMs or baby IMs, if you have any interview calls, mention how much CAT score you performed. The reason I want you to mention all of this in the mail is because based on your profile, you can get a good discount. Also, we give discount for children of defense personnel. So if your father or mother is working in the Navy or Army or Air Force, do mention it. We give a good discount to all the children of defense personnel. So if you are looking for any scholarship on our CAT courses, mention your entire profile and send a mail to support@crack2.in. How many days will it take to completely ace arithmetic fully? Okay, interesting question, and I like the way you phrased it. What I tell people is this: arithmetic is typically an easy section, and it is also its weightage also is very high. So it is a very important section for you to do very well. One of the best ways in which you can practice arithmetic is by previous year's papers. Download the previous year's papers and start solving questions from previous year's papers, because then you will also figure out what are the different ways in which the questions are phrased. Because if you only look at videos, if you only look at some videos or read some notes, then I don't think you will understand the kind of questions that can be asked. Because in CAT, it won't happen that there will be one question that is asked from a particular topic which has only one concept. Many times 2 or 3 concepts are intermixed when they ask the question. For example, many times they can mix time, speed and distance along with progressions. They can say that, okay, there is one guy who is building a wall on the first day. On the second day, 2 guys are building. On the third day, 3 guys are building. On the fourth day, 4 guys are building. You can even add some more additional complexities. You can say that one man is building a wall and one woman is destroying a wall or something like that, where there are 2 progressions. So there are many ways in which you can actually ask these questions. But at the end of the day, you will realize that the concepts individually are not very difficult. The progressions, for example, what I mentioned is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus ... till n. That is not a very difficult formula to know. All of you, I think, will know the formula for the sum of the first n natural numbers. Similarly, if you are told that, okay, one guy is constructing a wall, 2 guys are constructing a wall, or if say one guy is constructing a wall and one woman is, like, say, destroying the wall, how much time will it overall take? That also is not a very difficult concept. But by mixing 2 or 3 concepts, the question can get slightly challenging. And you will gain the confidence that you are able to solve it only if you attempt these questions beforehand. Okay, let me answer some questions before I talk further. Many people have answered the 3 most important topics: arithmetic, algebra and geometry. Focus on these 3 with a laser focus. It is going to help you quite a lot. So during mock tests, I cannot do sums, but after completion of mock, I can do quant without seeing the solution. How can I overcome it? The only way you can overcome it is by doing it multiple times. Many times, for example, people have this nervousness of public speaking. Many times, even I used to have a lot of difficulty in public speaking. When I go on the stage, I used to feel petrified. I would never be able to talk properly, or even if I talk, the way my voice sounded would be like very shrill. I used to be very nervous. But the thing is, once you do these presentations 2-3 times, you realize that it's not so difficult. You will be better the second time than the first time. You will be better the third time than you are the second time. You will have to ensure that that betterment keeps improving. That is point number 1. Point number 2 is, secondly, also psychologically, maybe you are more nervous when you're taking a mock. So the more number of mocks you take, you realize that it's just another examination. There is nothing to worry so much. So you will gain that composure. So don't worry, it is just about taking the number of mocks. Again, if you are finding it difficult to believe, picture yourself sitting on your desk. This is the 3rd mock you're taking. You're nervous. You're not able to perform properly. Suppose you're taking 1 mock every Sunday. You do that for the next 10 weeks. That is just for the next 2 months. Then when you're taking the 11th mock, you'll be much better placed. You'll feel that I have known this schedule. I have known this process. I've done this multiple times. And you'll perform better. You might not perform at your best, but you'll perform significantly better than what you've done now. But the important thing is, this 10 mocks that you're taking every weekend, that consistency has to be there. Then you will also have a hold on your nerves. Kushal Reddy is saying, hi sir, I got 99.47 percentile. Very good percentile, and above 99.4 in both Quant and DLR. Very nice. And I graduated from IIT Guwahati. My 10th and 12th are 98 and 97.2 percentile, but I did not receive any calls from Blackie. Yeah, Kushal, all of us know the difficulties that are involved with profiles or with the competition that is there. So I think in your case, maybe you are a general engineer male. So because of which your required target in CAT percentile is say 99.6 or 99.7. I think you have just missed out. So focus, what I would tell you is this, it might seem disappointing, it might seem demotivating, but from your percentile of 99.47, you can realistically target 99.9 plus, very realistically, especially if you are from IIT Guwahati and all with a very good 10th and 12th percentile. You can realistically target 99.9 percentile. That will help you get a lot of calls from Blackie. And because CAT also has weightage in the final admission, if you score heavily in CAT, your interview requirements, how well your interview should be, will also decrease. So focus, take it as a positive sign. You have already scored 99.47. You have to just improve a little more. But don't focus 99.6. Don't target 99.7. You don't want to just about get a shortlist. From 99.5, which is what your percentile is very closely, you should realistically target 99.95, 99.98, that kind of very high end percentiles, which I think is eminently possible for you. Sir, can I solve fundamental questions? But I can solve fundamental questions, but when it comes to advanced questions, I cannot solve it. That is not an issue, Anish. It just requires you to solve more and more. And also the thing is, if you are just solving easy questions, you will never improve. You will also have to pick the questions of slightly higher difficulty level. So if you are enrolled to the Crackoo study room, I would recommend you to start taking some topic tests, because as you keep getting better, we will also keep asking you more and more difficult questions. So then your strength improves. Basically, if you are looking to build muscle, okay, if you are trying to go to a gym, there are two ways. You can either just lift a pin 100 times. If you are lifting a pin or a pen or a pencil, which is very light, you will never improve. Whether you lift 100 pen times or 1000 times or 10,000 times, you will never build any muscle. But suppose you are pushing a big rock. It's a big rock, it won't move an inch. But the more you push, and if you do pushing for like say 10 days or 15 days, you will notice that your physics is improving, because the rock hasn't moved an inch, but because you are struggling and you are putting that effort, you will get better. Similarly over here also, if you are able to solve only easy questions, I think you have to figure a way out, a source where you can get nice, interesting questions. So if you are enrolled to the Crackoo study room, definitely start practicing from there. Kumar is saying, sir, can you tell about the CAT 150 days focused batch? Will it covers from basics? Of course, cover. So the way our batches are designed is like this. From now till the examination, we have say around 150 days. Every day, if you're enrolled to the 150-day batch, you will get a list of topics, basically like a list of assignments that we want you to complete before the end of the day. That will involve maybe watching some concept videos. And at the end of every concept video where we explain an important concept from basics, at the end of it, we are going to give you a test, which will have around say 5 questions. We want you to attempt that test so that immediately after watching a concept, if you attempt a test, your confidence will improve. You'll realize that, okay, these are the kind of questions I've seen in the examination. I was not able to solve them at that time, but now I'm able to solve it. And so the concept is not very difficult. Similarly, when you answer that question immediately after looking at the video, you will be able to connect the dots better. So that is the reason every concept video is followed with a test. So every day you get to watch say 3 or 4 concept videos and take those tests, and we'll give this very detailed schedule which we want you to just stick to every single day. It is going to take you around say 2 to 3 hours every day to finish that schedule, and your entire syllabus will be covered very quickly. At the end of it, you will also get, I think every week we'll be asking you to take either a mock or some sectionals. So your revision with mocks and sectionals also will be complete. That is basically what we are planning for the 150-day batch. I think it has just recently started. If you're looking to join, you are welcome to join. Okay, Nikhil Gain ID is saying, sir, good evening, sir. What is the ideal average score to maintain in Crackoo mock so that I can achieve 90 percentile? I think, see, the way to look at it is this way. The number of people who are taking CAT will be around say 3 lakhs. The number of people who will take our mocks will be around say 5,000 to 10,000. And all these 5,000 to 10,000 people are the serious aspirants, the guys who are really looking to do well. Those are the guys who take mocks, not just our mocks, but anybody's mocks. A fraction of the people who take the actual examination take our mocks. But those fraction are actually the hype caliber, very talented, most hardworking guys actually take it. Many people actually give CAT without a lot of preparation. The point is that those kind of people who have not taken a mock, most likely serious aspirants would be able to beat them in the examination. So here, if you are scoring in Crackoo mocks anything above 95 percentile, you have a very realistic chance, extremely good chance of scoring 99 percentile in the actual examination. Vishal God is saying, if I'm taking 4 sectionals a week, can I perform better and ace VRC? Definitely you can do that. In addition to it, if you're looking to focus and do well in VRC, I also want you to develop a reading habit. Every single day, I want you to read 3 or 4 articles from good websites. Larry is saying, sir, 767 OBC with 1.5 year work ex, approximate percentile for Blackie or FMS. Please reply, sir. Larry, I'll tell you honestly, if your 10th and 12th, I don't think is as good as it could be. If you had scored 8 plus or in 10th and 12th, that would have been much better. 7 and 6 is tough, but you have work ex of 1.5 years, so that is good. You have NC OBC, that also is good, so that is going to help your profile. Now coming to Blackie, I would say you will need 99 percentile plus, roughly an approximate percentile. Because your 10th and 12th are not ideal, I would recommend you to target 99 percentile to do well. Nandini is saying, sir, please tell me about the CAT 150 day batch, looking to enroll in it. I think I've just described the 150 day batch. It is a very good batch. We start from the basics, we explain all the concepts in thorough detail. You will also get access to the CRACU daily target, CRACU study room and CRACU mocks and sectionals. You should definitely take it. Anonymous is saying, thank you, sir. Shashank Upadhyay, sir, what is the price of your course? Please reply. Shashank, the price of the course and those things I don't look at closely, but it is not very expensive. It is fairly, very, very reasonable. But what I would tell you is this: if you want a scholarship, because we provide a lot of scholarships, we provide scholarships based on your 10th and 12th score. That is, if you have a good academic profile, say 95 plus in both 10th and 12th or 90 plus in 10th and 12th, we give good discount. Similarly, if you have taken CAT earlier and if you have scored well in earlier CAT, we give a discount. If you are the child of a defense personnel, we give a discount. So if you have a admit from any baby IIM or new IIM, or if you have an interview call from any of the top IIMs, for all of these things, for different, for each one of them, we give different discounts. If you want a good discount or if you want to figure it out, please do send a mail to support@cracu.in. Support@cracu.in with your entire profile details. We will get back to you. BP is saying, sir, can any in age group 40 take CAT exam and go for MBA? Also, if there's a gap of 6 to 7 years, go for MBA, but now working. Please answer, sir. I think, see, if you are above 40, maybe going for 2 years MBA is not ideal. Maybe you can look for 1 year executive MBA, because that is what most people who are above 30, 35 do. Guys, please do like the stream. We have more than 50 people who are watching this stream live. I want to get to at least 100 likes before the stream ends. So please do like the stream. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can. If you have a question about CAT or CAT preparation, type it in the chat. I look at all the questions and I'll try to answer them. Anonymous is saying, sir, questions like maxima minima, questions like find the number of acceptable values for a given question are my weak areas in quant. What should my strategy be? Maxima minima, all of these things I think is mostly related to inequalities and linear equations. So this will mostly come in algebra. The first thing to do is figure out that this is not very difficult. Tell yourself, motivate yourself that this is not very difficult. Because the more you feel that, okay, I can't answer these kind of questions, even if a simple question comes from that particular topic, you'll never be able to answer it. So you have to motivate yourself to not get panicky or make it a psychological issue. The second thing is, if you're identifying that, okay, number of acceptable values, max or minima, these kind of inequalities thing is your issue, try to find a good source and try to attempt questions from them. Because again, if you look at it from as a process standpoint, the first question you won't get it. Then you do a similar question the second time, then a third time, then a fourth time. The more number of questions you answer from that one particular topic, if you just attack it, after like say 3 or 4 days, if every day you're solving say 15 questions from that particular topic, after 3 days, you'll feel much more confident. The only way you can overcome weakness is by building strength. So you should feel that you should look at it as an opportunity to become very good at it. Normally, whenever I meet people who say that, okay, verbal is my area of weakness, or I'm very bad at quant. Many non-engineers, for example, tell me that I'm very bad at quant. I'm like super bad at quant. I'm very scared. I'm very terrified. The way I tell them is you have to look at the problem in a different way. You shouldn't look at it as your weakness. You should look at it as the potential area of your strength. You should work on it, because right now you are not scoring very well. So your significant improvement is possible in that particular area. So you have to look at it that way, put in the effort and know that the fruits are low hanging in that particular area, because you are not doing very well. If you put in some effort, you'll gain a lot. So tell yourself that this is not my area of weakness. This is my potential area of strength, and I'm going to put in the effort and I'm going to improve quite a lot. Nandini Tripathi is saying, sir, how many mocks should be given in the month of June? I think in the month of June and July, you can take 2 or 3 mocks per month. June, 2 to 3 mocks. July, 2 to 3 mocks. From August, I think you can take 1 mock every week. So that will be around, say, 4 mocks per month. Sir, I have completed only arithmetic and quants. Now I didn't feel confident in more as I have paper in college. My routine is not consistent. Please help. I think not just for CAT preparation, in life, if you want to do well, you should be very disciplined. You should have a schedule and you should stick to that schedule to see any benefits, to see the fruits of your hard work. It is very important for you to have that consistency. So it is easy to tell yourself that, okay, I'm not consistent, I have something in my college. All those things are possible. But to be honest, if you want to do well in CAT, you need to be either more disciplined or you need to make some sacrifices. You should have a schedule and you should stick to it. If you're not able to do it for whatever reason, things will be very difficult for you on the day of the examination. It is what it is. Rishika Chand is saying 10th 74, 12th 77, BA yet to be completed but approximately 60%. Okay, Rishika, the advantages are that you are a non-engineer, you are a BA, so that is good. You are also, you will get points for gender diversity, so that also is good. Those are the 2 good things that I can see. Unfortunately, your 10th and 12th are below 80%, so that is not ideal. And your graduation also is 60 percentile, again not ideal. Having said that, because of the academic diversity and gender diversity, if you can target 98 percentile, I think you will have a decent chance. P4BLO is saying, can you tell me what is there in the Krakow 5-month exclusive course? I'm starting my prep with it. Okay, interesting. Many people are very interested about the Krakow courses. The Krakow 5-month course is a very good course where we cover all the topics from the basics to advanced. We'll give you videos, we'll give you Krakow study room. We'll also give you a detailed schedule. You have to just stick to the schedule to do well in the examination. It is a very nice course. Like I mentioned earlier, if you have any doubts with respect to any of our Krakow courses, please do send a mail to support@krakow.in. Koyada Vishal God is saying, sir, what are the easy topics we can do in algebra? I think I find quadratic equations to be not very difficult. Linear equations I think are difficult, as in it is possible for you to have very difficult questions in linear equations. But quadratic equations, the difficulty level need not be very difficult. As I'm a paper setter, I set a lot of dash cats. I know that making a difficult quadratic equation question is not easy. You can make easy questions in quadratic equation if you put in some effort and a lot of thought. The questions can become medium level difficulty. But setting a difficult question is not easy. It is very difficult. Linear equations, on the other hand, you can easily make a question to be very difficult, where very few people are able to actually answer it. So that's why I say that there are certain topics in algebra which are definitely easier, like quadratic equations. Linear equations I think can be difficult, but you should know the basics of linear equations. You should know the basics of inequalities. Especially in inequalities, you should figure out where the minimum value of a quadratic equation, maximum value of a quadratic inequality, those kind of things occur. Kushal Reddy, I don't know, man. Maybe because you're a gem, that's the reason your expected score is higher. Mohammed Kaif is saying, sir, starting now, weak in quants, what should be the best way with self-studies? If you are weak in quants, if you are looking for free material in quant, there are 2 excellent videos that Saili has recorded. They are complete quant revision for CAT. There are 2 videos. One of them is I think 2.5 hours long. The other is around 1.5 hours long. The first thing I want you to do is bookmark those, like them, and save those videos and watch them. Completely watch them thoroughly. They will give you an idea about what are all the topics that are there. You will cover all the basics. Then download the previous year's papers and try to attempt the arithmetic, algebra and geometry questions. All the previous year's papers, I have recorded the video solutions for quant. And in the PDF, you can see a button where if you don't understand a question, you can click on that button. It will redirect you to the video solution. That I think should be the first step. For a free student, if you are looking to improve in quant, watch Saili's revision videos of quant and download the CAT previous year's papers. Okay guys, I'll answer 2 more questions before ending the stream. Please do like the stream guys, we have only 39 likes. I want to get to at least 50 likes before the stream ends. Sir, almost 2 months I'm preparing, but I'm still not improving in my point of view as well as marks. Shambhu Mohan, the thing is you should be motivated. You should be optimistic. You should tell yourself that I'm doing everything I can, or I'm doing everything that is in my hands. So I will improve. you should tell yourself those things. You should motivate yourself. The biggest motivator for you is yourself. The reason for that is because if you look at your parents, they will spend some time with you during a day. If you're looking at your friends, they'll probably spend 1 or 2 hours with you every day. The only person who will spend 24 hours with you is yourself. And what you tell yourself in your mind, in your head, is what you'll actually believe. Like for example, if you're eating food and if you want to, like say, gain muscle, or if you want to lose weight, you have to eat the right kind of food. Only then will you actually, your physical appearance will change. Similarly, if you want to improve mentally, also whatever you're intaking, that has to be good. And your thoughts or what you tell yourself is a big part of your mental health. So I would always tell you to be optimistic, to motivate yourself. Tell yourself that you will improve. It is important to motivate yourself and put in the effort. If you're putting in the effort, that is the input you're giving. So the output will obviously come. It might come maybe 1 month later, or it might come 2 months later. If you're working hard and if you're working consistently, you will definitely improve. There is no way out. It is just a logical way of looking at it. For example, if there is a balloon and if you're filling air, at some point it is going to pop. That is just basic science. Similarly, if you're putting in effort and if you're putting in consistent effort, the results will definitely come. Sir, how to tackle algebra questions in mock? I know all the concepts and practice well, but after watching the solution, I get to know I was there but couldn't solve. I think that is fine. I think you are just on the border. If you practice more, and I would always tell you to solve more and more questions, because this kind of a thing might happen once or twice. Suppose you answer 10 questions, will it again happen? Suppose you answer 20 questions from that topic, will it happen? Suppose you are finding, like I mentioned earlier, say quadratic equations difficult, then solve 10 questions from quadratic equations today. If you start quadratic equations tomorrow, you will feel slightly better. Attempt another 10 questions, then attempt another 10 questions. You have to put in that effort consistently, and on the 5th day, after you have solved say 40 or 50 questions, you will find the topic to be fairly straightforward. It is not very difficult, and you will realize that. But suppose you have answered only say 2 or 3 questions today, 1 or 2 questions tomorrow, and by the 5th day you have answered say 4 or 5 questions overall. Then on the 5th day also you will not find a significant improvement. The only way to get better is by solving as many questions as you can. Mohit Kushwa is saying, sir, I'm getting 15 marks in quant mocks. How to improve score, sir? Typically, I'll give you a heuristic. It is a decent heuristic. Now, based on my experience in the last 10 years of teaching quant and CAT, this is what I believe in. Suppose out of 22 questions, right now you're able to answer 5 questions. On an average, you have taken say 3 mocks. In one mock you scored 4, in one mock you scored 5 questions correct, in the next mock you scored 6 questions correct. Overall, on an average, you're getting 5 questions correct out of 22. You want to improve this. Now, to improve it, I would say that you took a mock now, you'll take another mock after say 1 week or 2 weeks. In that gap, I want you to answer 100 questions. If you are solving 100 quant questions, your average will improve by 1 question. That is, if you actually answer 100 questions and you take a mock, I would expect you to score, instead of 5 questions correct, you'll get 6 questions correct. To go from 6 to 7, you'll need to solve another 100 questions. To go from 7 to 8, you'll need to solve another 100 questions. So keep solving more and more. The number of questions you are attempting will also improve. Kushal Reddy is saying, sir, any update on the content manager job? We have actually already hired. We have only one opening. If you are looking to get a job, if you have scored well in CAT, please do send a mail at support@cracku.in. Mention your CAT scorecard, attach it to the mail, attach your resume to the mail, and send a mail to support@cracku.in. We have only one role left, one job, one opening left. So please do send a mail. Radha Vinod Kamath is saying, sir, converted MDI. Thanks a lot. Fantastic news, Radha Vinod Kamath. Whenever I see this kind of successful news, it really motivates me. Like right now, before I sleep, I know that we made a small difference to somebody's career. Getting into MDI, a very good college like MDI, is going to change the career path completely of you. So, and we played a small part in it, so it makes me feel more satisfied. It gives a lot of meaning to what we are doing on a daily basis. Adarsh Sinha is saying, sir, I find Cracku quant mock significantly more difficult than actual CAT questions. I don't know, Adarsh. I would tell you one thing, okay? If you have attempted CAT 2023, before CAT 2023 also, people used to tell us that Cracku mocks are slightly on the difficult side. We used to tell them that we are preparing you for all sorts of examinations. Some of the sections will be easy, some of the sections will be difficult. So not all Cracku mocks are difficult in quant. Some of them are difficult. Now on the day of the examination in CAT 2023, the quant was very difficult. People who are solving Cracku mocks regularly were completely at ease. So it is always important for you to prepare for slightly tougher questions than actually, because it is going to help you overcome any surprises or shocks. Okay guys, thanks for tuning in.